All right, so I'm still recovering from getting super sick at NAMM, but what more perfect time to do an electronic drum kit demo because now I'll actually have the sickest beats in town. So this is going to be the new Donner kit. I have reviewed all the Donner kits pretty much at this point. My favorite one up to this one was the one that had a bunch of lights built into it, which is like a perfect kind of social media kit that just looks cool. This is interesting because it's really their high-end kit, but without the light component. So just like solid pads, everything is just pretty high-end. And we're just gonna kind of walk through a lot of the features of this kit. Then I'm gonna do like a little track it at the end of it. Right now, you're hearing a combination of the camera microphones and the direct output. I'm just going into my interface. So I'm just gonna run through a couple of the kits and just the sounds that it comes with. You can also use this as a MIDI controller, which I really like doing. But again, the quality of the kits that ship with these, just in the box, are awesome. And you can use headphones and everything like that. But like I said, I'm just going stereo out of the Brain module here into my interface, and this is what it sounds like. So this is the Kit 1 Pop. So you can tell that like also these are like chokeable too, which is super interesting, right? But yeah, this is going to be an upgraded kit because the toms are, well, basically all of the drums are at least dual zone, which means it's going to sound different on the center of it and on the rim, right? Yeah, so we've got hi-hat, and then it's got a hi-hat pedal. And honestly, the pedal is one of like the higher end things because, you know, I've done like a lot of drum kit videos, and a lot of times what is left to be desired in the beginner kits is the quality of the kick drum and the hi-hat pedal. They seem to kind of like skimp on the quality of these, but not here. These are basically like pretty high-end feeling, like, you know, kind of like attachments and stuff. So yeah, they've got the hi-hat here, and then they got the clutch down here. You got 3 cymbals, snare, tom 1, tom 2, 3, and again, the toms are also dual zone, which really they're kind of like, there's almost about as nice as quality as the snare. You can just see the shell on the snare is a little bit deeper than the other ones. So it comes with all the hardware that you need, except for a throne. Does not come with a throne or a stool or whatever. It's kind of funny, drummers talking about a throne. It's a stool. I'm catching myself. Don't call it a throne. It's a stool, guys. It's okay. It doesn't have to be a throne. It can be a stool. But just the setup of the rack on here is so much easier to set up because they really have the internal like cables running through the actual rack itself, and then you just plug the drums directly into like the little bays that are kind of like consolidated in and around the actual frame of the kit. So again, that's just Kit 1 Pop. We'll cycle through them. I'll show a close-up of the Brain eventually, but like standard 2 Trash Pop. Trash Pop, that's funny. I think that's like a Sabrina Carpenter special. Hey! So a lot of them are kind of like similar in the beginning. This is the Splat. The cool thing about this is you can really customize this really easily. In fact, here, let me actually show you a close-up of the Brain itself, just because it's worth it to kind of talk a little bit about how this works, right? There's a lot of glare on the screen because it's such a high-def screen, you can kind of see me filming it in here. But yeah, basically you have a picture of the kit, and then just scrolling through the dial here, just goes through all the different kits. So it comes with like a ton of different stuff, right? Even like a world kit. There's so much cool stuff. I really like the electronic sounding ones. Let me see if I can get to that one. Here we go, the E drum kit. I love this. Oh, I love it. It's fantastic. But like, let's say you want to make some adjustments to any of the sounds here, right? Let's take that kind of cool little synthwave snare right there. All you have to do is you can kind of go to like all the editors and stuff, which again, every one of these little things here is just like a touch screen. So right now we're in the actual sensitivity of the individual drums. See, as soon as I hit another one, it'll go to a different set, right? And then you can make adjustments from there. So I like to adjust, like what I do stock from these is I'll take the pad sensitivity and turn it up to the max, so you can kind of like get like different like double stroke rolls and stuff like that to sound a little bit better. But just so you know, it's really easy to make fine adjustments with this. Also with the threshold, one thing that I'll do too is for the kick, I'll actually make the threshold higher so it doesn't accidentally get like kind of like phantom like rogue kicks in there, and it just has the kicks that you like mean to do. I feel like with the rebound on electric kick drums, I'll get some kind of like phantom kicks that I didn't mean to play, or that maybe like I wouldn't have actually triggered or registered on an acoustic hit. So you can actually like really easily and quickly change the threshold of that. But yeah, basically then you just go back to drum kit, and then just by pressing here, and then you can touch screen through all of these, and then just... And again, they all sound... They sound great. The sensitivity is like really there for a lot of them. And there's like a lot of cool different effects too. Like this one right here, you can tell there's like a little bit more of like a decay on the reverb. So if we wanted to switch that, all you have to do is go to the effects tab right here on the side, and then click that, and then you can kind of just choose any of the different effects that you want to mess with, right? So if I go to reverb, and then I'll go like here. So here's what it sounds like. There's a snare hit with it. I can just change the output mix, and let's go crazy, right? And then you can have this really cool long reverb and effect. So I think that's just something that's really interesting that you can kind of do to kind of mess around and just get really cool creative sounding things that you can just go direct out, or if you're just practicing with like headphones or an amp or something like that, right? You also have a lot of built-in practice features right here. So again, if you press the little practice button right here, you can do like a lot of different things. You can do rudiments, groove library, or actually have songs that they have preloaded on here and play along with the songs. So real quick, if you're just starting to do rudiments or something, let's do like just a single stroke, right? It'll show you what you're gonna do, how you would read this on sheet music, and then you can play along. And there's the metronome, right? And then it'll play it for you, right? So I think the weird thing is how it doesn't have the metronome stick with it right away. You have to really kind of like remember that. So if I were to do that 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like, okay, not great. Score 63, but you know, not bad. If you have audition, hit the audition button, then it'll actually tell you what it's supposed to sound like, right? So it's kind of like a cool like learning feature that it'll tell you, or it'll give you an audio example of what you have to try to hit, and then it'll give you the metronome count in, and then you can kind of see how good you are. So again, they have this with like all sorts of the different, you know, rudiments and stuff. All you basically just hit it, you kind of see the tablature or the sheet music of what it is, hit audition, and then it'll count you in. It's like, okay, cool. So it'll teach you how to do like a drag or something like that. And then BPM wise, you can really easily just like use the slider to do it. Faster just by doing that, right? So again, just a lot of really cool like practice capabilities that you have right here. Again, and then on the right side, the other ones, we have a recorder. So let's say if I want to just record myself, I'll hit record, right? And then you can kind of see it moving. You can see it recording in the actual kit. So if you wanted to do a song, then I can stop it right there. So then I can save it to flash, or you can put an SD card in there, right? We'll just call it record, save, and then I can kind of like bring it back up just by there, clicking on it again. And And then I've got that entire recording just actually saved on the kit or to an SD card. So really cool for maybe like a band practice type thing if you want to like record what you're playing and stuff like that. And again, just super cool. So what I want to do is I want to go through maybe just a few more of the sounds that come with it. And then I'm going to just do a song that I've been working on. And then we will see how it sounds kind of going just direct out into the interface. All right, this one's called Funky G. This one's called Machine. Love that one. Metal Gear. Not sure what's Metal Gear about that. Cool. Nashville. This is interesting. That's like a very dampened snare for the Nashville kit. Alright, this one is called Led Z. I can only imagine what this one is. Those big low toms. That's funny. It's got a little phaser on it too, it sounded like. Snares, or snares. I think the nice thing about this one is they actually have the toms set up as different snares, which actually is like super kind of effective, especially if you're playing kind of like a live thing, because with an electric drum kit, I don't do a ton of tom rolls. It's mostly just like, so you get a different snare. So for a 4-snare kit, everybody's favorite thing. Anyway, so yeah, this is a really cool kit, definitely high end, but still a pretty good value when you kind of compare it to the other stuff in its quality range for sure. Big fan of Donner stuff. They make really affordable, accessible gear for pretty much any musician. I'll have a link in the description if you guys are interested. Thank you to them for sponsoring the video, sending the kit over. And if you guys have any questions or comments, hit me up in the comment section or the website, and I'll talk to you all soon. Thanks.